show you. What subject shall we consider today? The door to the shelves shall ever be open.
Sid. Should I be worried? You haven't been introduced.
Jill. Clive has told me much about you.
All lies, I'm sure.
Your Stolas said that Dalamil has a bandit problem.
Indeed. Although, you're a little late. They left with our food. Any idea where they went? The desert's a big place. Your guess is as good as mine. But the fact is, I have...
What did you say to me?
As if by... Let's just say we've yet to reach a consensus about how to solve Dalimil's little problem. And at this rate, it won't be the actions of the bandits which prove to be our undoing. It will be our own. Now, I've tried reasoning with the dissenting parties, but even the Desert Hare has limits.
Perhaps we could talk to them.
What makes you think they'll listen to us?
What makes you think they won't?
She makes a fair point, Sid. And you won't have wasted much of...
Suppose we just follow the shouting.
You wouldn't talk like that if it had been your men whose throats were slit. We hire mercenaries and have them mount the bandits' heads on our walls as a lesson to the rest.
And what happens when those mercenaries are slaughtered like your men? Are you going to hire more? We're better off using that coin to buy food and supplies. If we hire mercenaries, the only thing we're buying is the bandits' ire. and you cannot fill empty.
But what happens when they come back? Maybe it'll be your throat that's slit.
That's enough. Both of you. Any more of this and I'll throw you out myself. Come back when you're ready to talk like adults.
Victor? What's he doing here?
Sid.
I was about to ask you the same thing.
Costness is in chaos. The Briar's Kiss here in Dalimil is the only place I can I was here to do just that when Master Lubor told me of his troubles. He thought I might be able to talk some sense into these fools. But if you're here, I suppose his patience must be waning.
Who are those people?
Those were the thorns in Lubor's side. These are cursed skies, or an entire city for that matter.
We're still working on the skies. But in the meantime, perhaps we can find a solution to Dalimil's problems.
I hope so. For all our sakes.
So? You see my predicament? What I saw was a room full of people who were angry and afraid. And with good reason by the sound of it. But if left to smolder, that anger...
My thoughts exactly.
What to do?
Both sides wish to protect their homes and livelihoods, if only they could agree on how. But as long as they are divided, we are vulnerable.
And if there's one thing bandits like, it's an easy target.
What would Sid...
Well... He'd let them choose for themselves. And be on hand to pick up the pieces when it all went wrong.
That sounds like a recipe for disaster.
A recipe for disaster is precisely what it is. But perhaps, while it's plain neither Conrad nor Natalie will, it may still be possible to make them doubt before presenting...
And that would be?
To pool our resources and...
When all that fear and anger...
It appears we have... Victor, pay Conrad a visit. See if you can't
As you wish.
Your fate... Don't worry. Victor and I will do most of the talking.
Play along.
What he means to say is he...
Lower than beasts they are.
People take notice of wealthy men. Shouldn't be too hard to track down Karen's collector.
Picture it, Conrad. Your own city guard. Here she is. The Lady of the Spear herself. Conrad, may I introduce you to Jane, commander of the Red Wings, the oldest mercenary guild in the Free Cities.
A pleasure, my lady.
As I told you, I summoned the commander here from Canver.
Victor says you told him no. That there aren't any men left to hire. Is that true?
True as the crystal. Crystal's cracked. Nobles came and claimed every last one worth his salt. And not just from us Red Wings. You know of the 7 high houses. There must be 2 swords assigned each one. Granted, we have a few boys left. If it's boys you're looking for.
Well, Conrad, are you saying that Dalimil's finest cannot defend this town better than a gaggle of unblooded striplings? That a band of beardless youths could better avenge the deaths of your brave men than you yourselves?
Absolutely not. We'll show those bastards who they're dealing with.
I can't believe that actually worked.
Conrad's not what you call the brightest candle in the crypt. And there's a reason why I had you do the talking and not Sid. Well played, my lady.
Then let us band together and show these brutes that Dalimil is not to be trifled with. If I had my pickaxe, I would...
I mean, it may still be possible to buy something, and we may yet be allowed to keep it.
Yes, but...
Here he is now. Natalie, allow me to introduce Lord Underhill of Randalar's prestigious League of Merchants.
Lord Underhill. At your service.
Underhill.
I was just telling the good lady of our conversation, my lord.
Lubor says that not only are the granaries almost empty, but that war and the...
Indeed, certainly that is the case. The nobles in the capital are buying up the city's stocks of barley and wine, driving the prices higher than most commoners can afford. It is only a matter of time before the peasants revolt.
It is worse than I thought. If what Lord Underhill says is true, I fear we have little hope of supplementing our stores, meager though they regrettably are. And while I applaud your endeavors to dissuade our more bellicose citizens from seeking vengeance, I sense Conrad is not wrong in his assessment of the bandits' likely return. Which means that now, more than ever, we will need to secure if our humble town is to endure not only this hardship, but...
All right. If it will help to protect my home, I'll do it. But you needn't have gone through this charade.
Thank you, Clive. Your performance was nothing if not workmanlike.
She saw right through it.
I didn't say it was good, merely that it produced the desired effect. Now, my scouts should be returning shortly. Meet me back at the Briar's Kiss, and...
I'm not convinced our roles in this ruse were entirely necessary.
I don't know. Conrad seemed quite taken with you.
Mummy, I'm scared.
Oh,
Fucking...
Haven't we had enough fighting?
Oh, I bloody well have. The next time those two go for each other's throats, I'm barring them both.
My reputation will be ruined! Ruined!
Calm yourself, Lord Ignac.
Pardon the intrusion, but...
Out! Get out! I paid for these rooms so I wouldn't be disturbed. Leave me be...
Please. His lordship is going through a difficult time, and he's never been fond of guests arriving unannounced.
Radim! Get rid of the filthy oaf this instant!
Very good, Lord Ignac. Would you mind stepping outside for a moment?
I'm sorry if I've caused you any trouble.
That? No. That's just how his lord... He has been dispossessed of his luggage, you see. The thieves also made away...
I don't suppose a certain blade, a single-edged sword.
Ah.
Then I'll retrieve Lord Ignac's luggage.
You have but to state it. You are welcome to
I want an audience with Lord Ignac.
a condition I would be a fool to
I don't suppose you saw with the...
I did not, no. Though every ill-gotten coin in Dalimil is said to pass through that disreputable corner of the Valcroy.
And that's where I'm heading.
I shall speak to Lord Ignac in your absence.
That will be very kind of you.
Farewell. Good news, Sid. Both Conrad and Natalie have somewhat gracefully accepted their new roles. With time, they may even learn to...
Time no longer appears to be the luxury it was before lunch.
I take it your scouts found the bandits.
Technically, it would be the bandits who found my scout. All of...
You're not serious.
They don't just want food, they want the whole damn town.
I have a favor to ask. I'm told the bandits march in 2 groups, one from the south and one from the desert, in a move doubtless intended to stretch our already gossamer-thin defenses.
Very well. Jill and I will meet...
The rest, my friend, the city stakes I concede are high.
That is a lot of faith to put into those who had their hands up.
Then it will be for us to see that...
I thought you might.
We'll hold them off for as long as we can.
And we will do...
No women folk have come to welcome us.
I'll take that one.
It's all yours.
They mean to overwhelm us.
The townspeople.
I don't hear any fighting.
That we should hurry.
Natalie, I owe you an apology. You did well out there. The inn would have been lost had you not held the line.
Without you, there would have been no line. You saved us, Conrad.
We all saved.
Conrad seems to have had a change of heart.
I'd say they both have.
I take it from your presence that our visitors from the desert won't be joined.
The plan, granted, it only took an army of bloodthirst.
Calm now, Victor. Why quit? We are united. As for you, Sid, you fight.
I'll take that as a compliment.
Good girl. Time to fight.
We've got company! Come on, lads, let's tear the bastard's head off! Get him! This one!
This must be Ignac's luggage. Nothing seems to be damaged. All right. Let's get it back to Dalimil.
I hear I have you to thank. What shall I call you, my good man?
Wyvern. Glad to make your acquaintance.
A formidable name indeed. Well, Wyvern, I appear to be in your debt. Redeem here tells me you wished for an audience. Is that all?
A few moments of your time should suffice, yes.
You're a peculiar fellow, Wyvern. All right, speak.
Master Wyvern was wondering if you could tell him about a certain single-edged sword you recently acquired.
Oh, a true work of art. Karen drove me hard on the price, but I would have sold her Radim here to get my hands on that sword. It was made in the Outer Isles, far beyond the Twins, and is used exclusively by the practitioners of a unique school of swordsmanship. They believe no combat should ever exceed a single strike, and hone their blades to such perfection that none ever does. Each sword is made for that one perfect stroke, and for that stroke only. They crack upon a second blow. There's a brutal sort of beauty to it, really.
But how do they hone such an edge?
Fine question. Why, they use a whetstone, of course. Whetstones, rather. A whole array of them, ranging from the coarse to the fine. 10,000 licks with the sharpening stone, then 10,000 more. But it is the final stone which lends the blade its legendary sharpness. A mineral quite foreign, and that is why when it occurs to me that my little lecture is hardly equal to services. Take this, together with the very stone of which I spoke. Far rare and a far more.
Thank you.
Pardon the intrusion, my lordship.
I am locked in bitter competition with a rival. I am one step ahead of the
And there are many other.
Too many to count, but only one, and is a perennial. Farewell, Wyvern, may our paths... Radim! We mustn't daunt...
I think his lordship is rather taken with you, master. Coming, my lordship.
Trust Uncle Byron to find such an interesting rival. Now, let's see what Blackthorn makes of this whetstone, shall we? Sorry for the wait, but hopefully you'll agree it was worth it.
You learned something about...
I did better than that. Yes.
No wonder I couldn't get a sight. One hit and all done, eh? Might not be so bad if all you ever fought were duels. Good luck on the battlefield. Your second opponent would be your last, no matter how good you were.
Even so, is there some way it could be used to give the Cursebreakers an edge?
I think so, yeah. With this whetstone and the right kind, but there'd be no replacing this little rock once I worn it down to a sliver. I reckon we get a dozen swords from it, if that. Swords that the Cursebreakers wouldn't know how to wield properly, and that would see them through a... No point trying to copy that thing. Be about as much use as a wax anvil. But finishing our blades with a whetstone this fine, now that's something to consider. And what's finer than fallen masonry, eh? Oh, just imagine it. Good Valesthian steel with an edge as sharp as any found in the Outer Isles. I won't make a copy, nah. I'll make something much better.
I'm sure the Cursebreakers will be delighted. Just...
I've been working day and night since I was half your age. Hey, I owe you one. August 2.
You'll be happy to...
And I'll see that my debt to you's paid. You come and find me when you've got the material.
Right?
Trouble with your gear, or so will it be? No scratches, all right?
This man's gonna die if we don't get him to a healer.
Martha, it's good to see you.
And you, Clive.
Otto said you'd been attacked by a Kashik.
Those skies are what happened. Not long after they fell, there were hundreds of them. Tried to storm the hill. Only the rest are still down there now. And while we have a few...
What do you think, Clive?
That we join the...
I thought you'd never... Now, where I need you is the Fallen Gate. Let the men know you've come to help.
We're on our way.
They were too fast.
Do you think there were as many as Martha says?
More.
You don't think they've abandoned us, do you?
Clive, wounded.
We deal with the Akashic first. So well.
Over here!
Stay down!
Kill! Get him!
These men don't have...
If you've come to rob this place,
You are mistaken, my lord. We're here by Madam...
how do you know my name?
Forgive me, my lord. There wasn't time for introductions.
Wade's men? Where is your commander?
Sir Wade left earlier with a scouting party.
Did he? Take your wounded back. Martha will see you're looked after. What?
And to think you took them for thieves. A fine reward for holding off the horde, that is.
When did Wade and his men arrive?
Not long after Rosalith fell. The Guardians asked me to shelter some of them that had lost their homes. They were making ready to leave just as the skies turned, and we agreed it was best we stuck together.
Martha! The scouting party's almost at the lift.
But they got wounded with them! They're not gonna make it!
Damn it all.
We'll worry about them, Martha.
You look after everyone here. If any can still fight, send them to the lift.
I will. You two be safe now.
I can't take much more of this.
My brothers.
Anything catch your eye? Thanks very much. Much obliged.
Mad dogs.
Squire, I need you to get those who can still walk up the lift to Martha's. But what about... I didn't ask, Oscar. Sir.
So, Wade.
Lord Rossfield.
Martha seemed to think you might need some help. And by the looks of it...
We thought we could sneak by them. But we didn't know there would be so many. How could we have?
Behind you!
Damn it! We need to get the injured to safety.
Do you think we can hold them off?
We can certainly try. Are you with us, Sir Wade?
Always.
Then let's do our duty.
Is anyone hurt?
I don't think so.
And yet again, you've pulled me from the flames.
You've never been one to shy away.
I see you're all in one.
Martha!
Is something wrong?
The lookout saw smoke coming from down east.
A second halt.
Feel like finishing the...
Always.
Jill and I will make for East Pool. You'll need to move the injured with...
Don't you worry.
The moment my men are safe, I'll follow.
Mad dogs.
They're headed for the rest.
We have to slow them down. Carter and the others won't be ready.
Stay down!
Something's coming.
Apologies, my lord. Did I miss anything?
Only the first round to wait. Shall we?
Farewell.
Do you see any more?
No. I think that was the last of them.
But it won't be long before the next lot arrive.
Then we make for Martha's while we can.
What did you find out there?
The same as Sir Wade. Scores of Akashic.
Well, wherever they came from, they're gone now. Hopefully we'll have enough time to look.
How many of your men were...
A damn sight less than if you...
It was a hard-fought victory. But as long as the skies remain dark, I fear the Akashic's numbers are only going to rise. It's not a matter of if the Horde will be back. The inn here affords a good view of the land. And
what do you say, Martha?
Well, when you put...
My lord, there's someone I'd like you to meet. Oscar, over here. It is an honor to make your acquaintance, Lord Rossfield. I am Oscar. Oscar of House Murdoch.
Murdoch?
Oh, he didn't. But his... Well, go on, then. Yes. If it please you, my Lord Marquis, might you take me as your squire? I would learn the duties of a shield from the finest.
I'm sorry to disappoint you, Oscar, but I am a shield no longer. Nor was I ever the finest. And spending time in the company of an outlaw hardly seems a fitting education for one aspiring to take his oaths.
My Aunt Hannah once told me, you have accomplished much since taking on the mantle of Cid, winning no little honor in so doing. And I would sooner serve under an honorable outlaw than an unworthy... not that Sir Wade and the other guardians are... I mean to say that it's all right. We know. There is only so much the boy can learn from...
But a squire...
Would that really be so bad? You were a squire once. And I'm certain Sir Rodney would approve.
Know that I'll show you...
I would not have it any other way. I will not let you down, Lord Rossfield. You... or my uncle.
Fate seemed bent on driving me from my inn.
Any man who ain't in need of
They want
treatment
me out.
himself.
First we find Isabel.
I saw it with my own eyes. The whole of...
I can't do it.
My lord. Milady.
We received the dame's message. There have been sightings of strange creatures, I understand.
With the blue eyes. Yes. Like Akashic, but... they've taken so many.
Akashic.
Alton, and what of your mistress? Is she here?
Oh, no.
Then we'll look for her there.
Left for more on the captain's orders.
Madame, please!
Half the garrison's been slaughtered by those things. We lost the captain this very morning.
We've tried requesting reinforcements, but there's been no word. What more would you...
I would have you do your duty. Those at the Vale look to me for protection. And protect them I shall. Because they are my charges, and that is my duty. In case you have forgotten, the people of this town are your charges. But more than that, they are your people. Your sisters, your brothers, your lovers. So you have a choice. Lay down your sword and watch as they are slaughtered, or take it up and do what is right.
She speaks the truth, you know. This here, it's all we have. It's all that's left.
What we have left is our lives! Do you really want us to lose them as well?
Not if we don't have to. Look, there's a cask under the captain's bunk. Let's talk about this over a drink, eh?
I'm listening.
I'll have a word with...
Ah, Clive. I didn't expect help to arrive so quickly.
It was a noble effort, but I thought you might still need...
I'd like you to
What we need to consider is where the creatures came from.
The way the survivors speak of them... and perhaps they did.
That thing?
Did you see the creatures that attacked?
Creatures? They came out of nowhere. They went for Joseph.
Do you remember where...
On the road from Oriflamme.
It's all right. It's all right.
My family.
You're a pikeman, yes? What happened?
I've got family in Moor. I heard the flood was... The back of them glowing things found me in...
Leave that to us.
At least we have an idea of where the thralls might be now. We should head for more.
All those soldiers. You saw them.
It was all they could do to escape. Just left the bodies there in the flood.
Let's go.
Clive, look!
I see them. With me!
Should I prime?
Save your strength. Finished.
There are always more.
Then we should let...
You have the town's thanks.
Don't thank us yet. There will be more. Many more. And you'll need to be ready for them.
Oh, we shall. Isn't that right, Captain?
Yes, milady. The garrison will be ready.
Philippe here has convinced most of the men to remain at their posts. For now, at least.
Hearing that the Dane would look kindly on any man who committed himself to the task certainly didn't hurt. It's not the most selfless of motives, I'll admit. Whatever it takes, eh? Now me, I never needed convincing. I became a soldier to protect the people I love. And the people I love include the ones standing before me.
Handsome and chivalrous.
Now, if you don't mind, I have sentries to post. Milady.
Lest you wonder, I'm not foolish enough to believe that this has solved all of my problems. But it has solved one, and that...
Our friends seem to have things under control. For now, at least. Let's go and put Otto's mind at rest.
Did you see that? Tell me you saw that.
Was wondering when you turn up. Had owls from all our friends. How is it you always manage to arrive at just the right moment?
Luck, I suppose. Any word on the rest of them?
Let's see. Storm's still crying out for mother crystals. The nations are still in chaos. And the skies are still the colour of a kick in the kidneys 2 days on. So...
Right.
Clive, we knew this was going to happen. Well, not the bleeding skies part, but you take my point. Now's not the time to second-guess yourself. Now's the time to visit the infirmary. Talia says your brother's awake.
Thank you, Otto.
So it was not Sylvester, but Olivier who served as Ultima's puppet. And when Dion learned of this, he sought to slay the fiend. Only for his father to take the spear that would have freed him. Enough to drive a man to madness.
Small wonder he hasn't stirred. I would be afraid to wake.
Had I but reached out to him sooner, warned him of the threat Ultima posed. But now, both an empire and her prince lie broken.
Joshua, what do you know of Ultima?
Very little, I'm afraid. Despite my best efforts. 18 years ago, as I lay buried beneath the rubble of Phoenix Gate, 'twas not death who came for me, but another. And it was while in my rescuer's care, I first heard of Ultima. I've been chasing his shadow ever since. Ultima is driven by some deep, dark purpose, and for whatever reason, it would seem you are crucial to his designs. he will stop at nothing to have you. Even if that means toppling an empire.
But why me? What possible use could I be to such a creature?
That is one of many answers that have eluded me. Yet, I am certain of this. It is not mere chance. You were chosen for a reason. All dominants carry within them the might of an icon. Nigh limitless power that is at once acutely limited. I wield fire, and only fire.
And I only ice. 8 wardens for 8 elements. But you, Clive.
You are different. You're special. Your abilities begin with the flames of Ifrit. But they do not end there. The fact Ifrit can even exist goes against everything we thought we knew of dominance. Perhaps Ultima has been waiting for one such as you, whose potential is truly limitless.
I've encountered that thing several times now. If it or he, as you say, needs me, why hasn't he claimed me as he did the boy?
Were I to hazard a guess, I'd say the two of you are somehow incompatible. His mind not properly attuned to your body.
His mind?
Mind, awareness, spirit, call it what you wish. But I believe Ultima to be an embodiment of the concept. This is why I struggle and fail to contain him here inside me.
I'm sorry. Inside you?
With every setting sun, I feel my strength wane. And though the Phoenix's flames mend the prison I have made for Ultima, they do so at a cost. We must find a means to bring an end to him before I meet my own.
What were you thinking?
It was that or let him take Clive. And I've always had a soft spot for my brother.
But that doesn't mean you should sacrifice yourself to save me.
Joshua. Clive, it's Gav. There's an army of Akashic at the gates of Canver.
Well, what's the short...
It's all Tyre told you. The capital of the Free Cities is under siege by an army of monstrosities. The City Guard are doing their best to stem the tide, but numbers ain't on their side.
What of Lord Byron and Mid? Were they able to escape?
No, but they're all right for now. They're hiding with Gav at midship.
We have to get them out of there.
And we shall. Otto, prepare a Stolas. Tell Gav to stay exactly where he is.
Understood.
Vivian, what's the swiftest route to the Free Cities?
That sounds like a question for the map. Look here. This road, through Tabor, should provide the least trouble.
Good.
What a coincidence. Tabor is exactly where I'm bound.
Joshua, bed is where you should be bound.
You don't think I told him the exact same thing?
Were Tyre not such a talented healer, I would surely have been inclined to agree. But, thanks to her ministrations, I feel I may safely rejoin my attendant, who was to wait for me in Tabor if we became separated.
All right, we travel together.
Clive.
If he stays close to me, he'll be fine.
Thank you, brother.
I'll look after him.
It's like a dream. The four of us out walking. Like we used to.
Enjoying this, are you? Gav and the others could be in danger as we speak.
You're right. I'm sorry. Yote is a fine scout. If Canville was attacked, she will already have begun gathering information.
Tabor isn't far. We should pick up the pace.
Clive, we weren't expecting you.
I wasn't expecting to be here, but it seems we still owe you a and though I doubt it's what you were expecting.
A star, Ruby? It's worth at least twice what you owe me. More if you can find yourself the right buyer.
Think of the difference as interest.
Interest? If word got out I charged that much, no one would ever borrow from me again. Anyway, why are you the one here asking me about this? I'd have expected Otto. Bit much sending the Lord Marquis out to settle your debts, isn't it? The old goat working himself to death again?
Something like that. Most days I think he's the only reason the hideaway's still standing.
Same as always, eh? Back when the place was nothing but a twinkle in the eye of a recently retired Lord Commander, word is he was the first one Sid reached out to. Probably knew that without his strong arm and level head, the idea would never get off the ground. Sid may have been the face of the hideaway, but Otto's always been the backbone. And when Sid passed away, we were all worried that would be the end of it. That Otto would just give up.
His death was hard on everyone. But it must have hit Otto hardest of all.
But he didn't give up, did he? Quite the opposite, in fact. If I recall, he was the one who nominated you as Sid's replacement, and rallied the rest around you. I reckon what he saw in Sid, he saw in you too. And don't we all? Doesn't hurt that you're that, and you...
Nothing like a little unrest.
There were ghosts at the gates not days ago. Those things I said before.
Milady.
Gifts? Whatever. Oh my.
Otto asked me to give it to settle the hideaway and to...
I thought you might find it. Tell Otto he can keep his baubles. The man owes me nothing. My contribution to the restoration effort was made freely and willingly. It was the least I could do.
You once told me Sid did you a kindness. I'd like to do the same. Please, accept it. For my sake. And for Otto's. For all of us. For all you've done.
It is rather fetching, isn't it? Very well. Otto is lucky to have you, Clive. I doubt anything could ever replace his son. But you and the others at the hideaway are the closest thing he has to family.
Otto had a son.
Long ago, yes. Sid told me Otto lost him when he was just a boy, and blamed himself for not being able to stop it. I don't know how it happened, whether there was anything he could have done.
I didn't know.
How could you have? Besides Sid, I've never met a man more keen an ill habit, given that both have always been surrounded by friends desperate.
Gob will want to know the stones were delivered, if he's still with us.
Did you see that? Tell me you saw that.
Goat. So Lady Karen accept...
Ah. But she was just too stubborn to take. She threw it right back in my face, in fact, and told me I could stick my stupid stone where the sun don't shine.
Karen refused payment.
I hope it wasn't something I said.
I'm sure you were as tactful as ever. Let me see what I can do.
Oh, wonderful. I hope you have better luck than I did.
Lady Karen. Goat tells me you weren't happy with our offer. Would you prefer the debt was repaid in coin?
What debt? I don't recall. I may have tossed a talent or two, but those were donations. And you can hardly call it charity.
Of course not. But one good... Surely you wouldn't shun the gratitude of a poor...
Oh, so you're fine. But I'm selling it and taking what I'm owed. Where'd you even get this? A decent trader might... A canny one, meanwhile, might claim it were nicked from the belt of... Might be I already have a buyer. It might be you even know her. A fine continental maid whose beauty's only eclipsed by a guile in commerce. You wouldn't mind, would you?
Not at all. Just be sure to tell her...
I hear you ended up delivering all... Thanks to this I sometimes wonder why.
Speaking of which,
Oh! So you remember what's owed to you, then? Get your...
I've seen that before.
Yeah. It was the only goblet Sid ever used. Either at...
I knew so little about...
most people.
Martha and the Dame both seem to have... How long did you know?
Before he died. Back in the day, I was a purser on a trade ship. He bought passage to... I forget what. We set up drinking island rum till the morning bell dragged me back. Quit my post not long after that. On account of making a find, but me and Sid stayed close. There was... The magic woke inside my son soon after his first name day. And there was no hiding his nag.
Couldn't you and your family have...
My family? Wanted the monster. I couldn't turn my back on him. And I couldn't for the life of me understand how they could. Luckily, Sid was of the same mind as me. It was him who stood beside me when, All I wanted was to tear the whole world down. Him, who cried for me, him. And he was true to his word, too. Left it, threw away everything he had. I knew then I'd follow that man to the ends of the earth. He was always too clever for his own good, was Sid. Saw the world for what it really was, while the rest of us were content to go along with the lie we were shown.